count these guys out of it. It's crazy. How do they keep coming back?
I don't have an explanation, but it's fitting that it's Get Right leading the charge there. I mean, what a game from him. What a legend as well. Well, we've got the crowd most certainly ready. More people seem to be piling in here, and it's going to get really, really heavy now. Still doing the knife round to decide who's starting on what side. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. It is the last map of the day. Tomorrow we've got semi-finals. It's Fnatic versus VP. It's whoever wins this map versus TSM. And either way, it's going to be two really good semi-finals.
Absolutely. No, this is a top-tier, top-notch tournament. It doesn't get much better than this. And so far it has been a thing of beauty. But NiP, what I am truly impressed with as well, Anders, is Luminosity's resilience. The fact that after losing the first 3 rounds in that overtime, I thought this is it. They are going to lose the grip. They can't quite deal with the pressure like NiP can. They're going to lose focus, and it's going to be NiP, you know, just rolling over them, right? No, Luminosity came back. They put up a fight until the very bitter end. NiP had to rip that map out of Luminosity's hands after one hell of a bloody struggle. So now it is going into map 3, and it's only fitting when both of these teams are playing their hearts out on that server right now.
Let's just find out how this is gonna unravel. I keep seeing more and more signs, and a lot of them are saying go NiP as well. This is the home crowd that we're always talking about, and we've all, I mean, everybody, I think even if you're watching in from Twitch, I think you will have a good idea right now of what the atmosphere is like. I think even if you're watching the Dota 2 stream right now, you can still hear what the atmosphere is like here at DreamHack for Counter-Strike.
Hi, Dota 2. I used to play that game.
Been, oh, you're gonna go there? You're gonna go there? All right, well.
Just play the game. It's a fun game.
All right.
That works. That works. Keep it up with the signs, guys. We've seen a lot of good signs. We want to see more. People are just getting more and more creative. We're seeing some true artistic talent. Bob Ross would be proud of you. Keep at it. So let's go. Countdown should begin any moment now. Both teams are readying up. The knife has been sorted, and it does look like NiP will be starting on the CT side of this final map on Cobble. It will be up to Luminosity to crack the defense and get that strong start. And right now, what we're wondering actually a little bit about outside is, are they going to be able to pull off some of the on-the-fly magic that they were working earlier on today, Luminosity versus Envy, for example? You know, I think NiP, they will have looked at that map. They'll have obviously watched that series. It's going to be tough for Luminosity to just keep coming up with new stuff on the fly that's going to be effective.
Yeah, and Envy took that map, what, 16-8, I think it was? So, I mean, that's a little bit scary as well for Luminosity. They have had just an incredible tournament, sort of win or lose here. The question is if they're going to make it really epic and go all the way to the semifinals. I don't think anybody was expecting him. I've heard it mentioned more than once on social media, and even here at the venue a couple of times, where people saying, well, you know, with two new people on the roster, is it even worth having him in the tournament? Couldn't we have had a better team that wouldn't, you know, just sort of take up a spot for nothing? I don't even think that was particularly unreasonable. There was a good chance that could have happened. It just didn't turn out that way. Luminosity, I think they've been the real surprise of this tournament so far. Now, we're going to get to see if they can pull through all the way, or if some of that NiP magic that you were talking about is going to be back in here. It's going to be Cobblestone, final map. And I hope you guys are ready to make a little bit of noise here. It's NiP versus Luminosity, third map coming up.
And straight into the pistol. No messing around for NiP either. Straight Kevlar pretty much across the board, apart from Freiburg, who goes for that kit. That's his usual shtick. At the same time, Luminosity, lots of Kevlar and only Fallen going for the utility. No raid boss here. And yeah, so we did see quite a bit of focus over on the B side for Luminosity versus Envy, and this is it. Forrest decides to take the fight to him. Taco takes out one, but Forrest clicking away. It's a fair trade though. 2 for 2 until Freiburg finds Fer, drop down. And this is just going all over the place. It's battle all across this map, Anders. Action everywhere.
Oh, Alu, don't take this fight. It's great if he wins it. It's very bad if he loses it. This is buying a lot of time right now for the rest of NiP, and Alu, he sees it coming as well. Fallen probably thinks he's very clever at the moment. In the corner hiding, it's the Finn, and he's gonna shut him down. Turning around, FNX is there, he goes down, double kill for Alu, and that's gonna be NiP off to a sweet start here with the pistol round in hand. A very intelligent play from Alu.
No, Alu has just been delivering this entire series for NiP. On Mirage, he was top fragging. On Cash, he had huge impact rounds. And, well, he just keeps on going. Cobblestone, and he delivers in the pistol. This is going to be so frustrating for Luminosity. They really needed a strong start here on this map, and they're still going to try and make it happen. They go for the force buy with the Tech 9 Kevlar. Fallen, Flash, Molotov, and now we got to see, is that going to be enough to make something go for him here? That HE, and Taco just barely dodges it. Get Right's going to be in the danger zone. But with that P90, he's going to want to hold up close. It's going to be a little bit of a gamble on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, Tech 9 P90 close range is definitely not a done deal if you have the P90. I think you're right. They've got to be careful. These Tech 9s are so powerful. And there's Freiburg sort of committing to the fight. He's going to go down. Exist will fall next. Great job here for LG. It's Fur with the double kill opening up. Get Right spraying while flashed. It's going to be another opening. FNX gets the kill in there. Alu spraying down one, and he's going to go for the double. But it might not be enough here. Forrest, UMP in hand, catching Fur, reloading. Well, that's a very fortunate start. And can he actually finish, though? He picks up a FAMAS, and now has 2 more to go here. This is Luminosity's chance to swing it around quick.
And he spots the man on the site, so now he knows. He has information on one player at least. He has to make a guesstimate as to where the next man is, and he's going to go hunting for him as well. Forrest looking to the likely spots. Needs to play it cool, though. He gets spotted out in the open. They face together, and Luminosity will be taking that second round. They're right back in this, Anders. No time wasted.
Wonderful round here from the Luminosity team, just really well coordinated.
And one thing to see is the difference in how they were handling this sort of situation. NiP maybe getting a little bit too fired up after that pistol. They got a bit too aggressive. They got close to the Tech 9s, whereas Envy earlier, they played super far back. They never let Luminosity get close enough to really put the Tech 9s to good use. That's the difference, right? You need to take those Tech 9s into account, because if you're going to hold close angles and drop, you can get run over like that.
Yeah, and I think some of the NiP members early on were committing to these fights when it's very hard to do that when they have body armor. If they don't, then you're just going to aim punch them, and you'll win it almost certainly, especially with the P90. But when they have armor, they're going to stand their ground and shoot back, and they do more damage than you do with the P90 or with the Tech 9 at that range. So a little bit scary. Fallen going to be winning the fight against Get Right too. It is armor and pistols here for the NiP team.
And they're just hanging in there by the thread. Fallen with 4, Fair with 3. And now we got to see Exist. It's Alu actually to take out Taco. He pushed out onto the plateau. We saw great success from him earlier on the map. But Taco, he did cool off a little bit in the second map of this series. So if he struggles a little bit at the beginning, I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to get his head in the game, start having that impact. Still, scary situation here for Luminosity with 2 players so very low versus pistols.
Stack was at the B-bomb site here as well for NiP, but not quite sure it's going to be enough. FNX picking up a second kill. Alu could still make it expensive, but unlikely to win the round. Even if they are low, he gets one more headshot. Surely not. He gets shot in the back, and he almost turns. Look at this. They got a combined 7 health. 1 bullet on either player would have done it, but a bit much to ask for there for Alu. That's going to make it 1-2 in Luminosity. Quick turnaround here early on, and NiP going to be ecoing. Strong start here for the away team.
The away team is right, and not too much excitement either after that. They know how close that was. Good adjustment there by Luminosity as well to lead with the players with more HP. That's exactly how it had to go. But a bit of a bungle nade there by Taco. Gotta keep cool. Look at the Fonz. And now, well, Taco straight in from connector, mows down 1, gets another as well. 2 kills for him, mass money in his pocket. And Existing Get Right are going to be the last 2 alive here for NiP in this anti-eco round. Taco looking for even more money at this point. It's the Mac 10 crossfire setup here, and they're just going to go charge it in. Taco picks up 1 and cold the other. Lots of money in their pocket. That's pretty much an ideal SMG round. Your SMG players getting all of the kills. A lot of bonus money there for them.
Yeah, first starting the round at a bit more than 8,000, and right now he's not even trading out his Mac 10. That's bold. They're actually going to hold on to it. The question then becomes, are they going to use for sort of a scout? That's just a decoy to throw in somewhere. He's running to the drop zone. That would be a good place. If they spot 2 and drop, they might just charge the plateau. He's going to see the 1. He almost wins against Freiburg. And the rest of the team, not really, well, finally there to follow it up. Cold, FNX as well. They're not going to check the corner. Exist with a double kill. And that's going to be NiP now with a man lead.
Exist just saved it for him. Great gamble there by NiP, stacking so many players. Not expecting a 3rd man, and well, Taco long range wins the duel versus Alu. We're back into a 2-on-2. Fallen with that bomb is kind of pinned down on the plateau. He needs to get across that open ground, and they don't have any smokes to make it any easier for him here, Luminosity. So it's going to come down to the hard work, getting the shots in, and already Exist He's thinking long term. He's thinking backstab. He's thinking flank onto plateau. And Fallen, if he doesn't get out of here fast, it's going to get real nasty for him if Exist can get that long line on him. And he gets the timing just right, leaps down to the site where Taco's going to be able to cover him.
Yeah, but this is still very good thinking. I think Exist, if he gets spotted going in there, it's a very different game. But the fact that he's now moving in makes it so strong. But he gets shot in the face, the FAMAS. And now it's on Forest here. Can they get the bomb plant down? That's the big question here. They don't have the bomb on the site right now. Fallen is running around with it. And he's got a lot of health here. 28 seconds though. And Forest, he's still at the site. He's going to turn around and run out. He thinks they've actually gone off with it. Really nice mind game here. Luminosity reading the Swedes extremely well.
Planting thoughts in Forrest's head, not showing anything at all. Now Forrest kind of realizes what happened to him. He gave up his line, and now both players for Luminosity can play from the site itself. They can peek together unless they get caught out in the open. That's awkward. Now it's going to be Fallen versus Forrest. 1v1, and Forrest inching his way closer. It's all going to come down to timing now for Fallen. He takes a very close shoulder peek, just trying to spot where Forrest is coming from. There's the info, and Forrest just inching his way closer, ever closer. There it is! The headshot, or at least the kill for Forrest, and the clutch goes NiP's way.
And that's so scary. That might not have seemed like a lot, but the double kill clutch there, and also the fact that he had no kit picked up meant he had to move fast. He couldn't play that game forever with Fallen. A big turnaround and a huge round here for NiP. Look at how cool he is as well.
From his perspective, just crazy. And so that's gonna be, well, that's just gonna shake Luminosity up a little bit. You lose a clutch, you win a clutch. You gotta be able to reset in that next round, and they have the money to do it with, you know, luckily for them.
Yeah, and NiP definitely don't, and that's what Luminosity know. They know that if they win this round, then it's gonna reset the Swedes, and they will start to get a little bit uncomfortable here. So far, Get Right hasn't been put into play. We're 6 rounds. We're starting on the 6th round now, and he's got 0 kills. He did do a lot on Cash. They need him to get back in here.
Need him to get his head back on. He's actually heading over here to drop to support Freiburg with that P90.
You know what always happens when we call someone out, Get Right, or similar? They always end up going nuts afterwards, don't they?
It's true. Do you really want to call out Get Right, though? Does he need any help? I mean, the guy's a monster as it is.
I don't know. Right now, you know, we're doing it. Taco going to be putting up a Molotov that's going to land on the box in there, the boost, and it's a very good idea. You can see Exist being forced off. That's a nice little trick, and there's Get Right with the opening frag. Still 100 health here, more coming in. They line, oh, Get Right. It's going to be the double spray before he finally gets dropped, but it's still plenty, and Exist and Freiburg to close it off, and you see that reaction? All you got to do is call him out.
No, the beast. It's on you, Anders, that you released him. Yeah, triple and in the perfect spot. This is classic vintage Get Right. Right place, right time, perfect spray, and 3 kills. 3-3 the score now. Luminosity just enough to go ahead and cobble together a buy, and NiP, full buy for them. No problems at all. Going for a bit more of a balance here in NiP, though. They aren't sure if it is going to be towards that A site, so they're going for 3 players over on the B site to begin, and Get Right gets tagged down to 22 right through that smoke. He has to back off and play it safe.
And they saw that coming, Luminosity. Now they're going to put all the grenades in again with the Molotovs as well. This is a little bit scary. There are 4 people here for NiP, but because Get Right's so low, they might lose it initially, and people just jumping down. Exist, Freiburg both down. It's Cold Zero picking up both the kills and opposite angles, and Get Right's going to get the one, but he might get caught here. Alu goes down, Get Right in the corner, and they check it. Triple kill for Cold. What a round from him. Single-handedly opening up and wrecking that B-bomb site, and Forrest can't do much right now.
At least he has a kit this time, but he's still so far away. So many angles for him to check as well. When he comes through here, Cold's already going to be waiting for him and drop. And this is where it can get nasty. Flash in, that's just going to force Cold to turn away, give us away a little bit of information as to where Forrest is coming from. And now, yeah, Forrest, there's no option for him. A 1v3 with no time at all. At least he stays alive to hold on to this gun. That is a key point right there. But Luminosity will be getting some control back in this half. Up to 4 rounds now for them. And yeah, it's the complete opposite for Forrest as well, actually, Anders. Because he was struggling quite a bit in the last map, and now all of a sudden he's sitting at the top of the scoreboard.
And the money for either team here is really questionable. Right now at 3-4 scoreline, I don't think NiP are going to be panicked into like any kind of an early buy. The only reason they try and do it if they were, oh, actually they will. All right, so the logic, I was going to say, the only reason they try and do it is because they know how low Luminosity are as well. This is also one of those, you know, last map of the series kind of thing where now you probably feel extra pressure to just go all in. And this is maybe not quite an all in, but they're putting a fair few chips on the table here.
If there was ever a time for the BDP, this would be it. And they're going for it, NiP. Straight out, and Taco gets flashed out onto Plateau as well, so he's going to be able to lurk his way through here, see if he can't find that pick. And again, Luminosity, extremely fast execute onto this B site. All the smokes, all the flashes, and NiP. This time they have 4 players here, ready and waiting to greet them.
Exists with a Deagle playing the edge of the smoke, but Luminosity, they're making it around to the site. This is a good push already for them. They've got the site controlled. They're going to get the bomb plant down. It's going to have to be a full retake here for NiP. That's very hard to do here, but Exist, what a blind shot for the smoke, and that's going to be the first one. Exist picking up a second one as well. Third kill with a Deagle. What is he doing? It's down to Fallen and Taco now. 2 versus 4, and there it is. Taco and Falling. Finally some teamwork. Another kill coming in from Taco, leaving Get Right alone. A little bit of a shot there at the edge of the smoke. He's trying to do it, but he's sandwiched in. He's going to have to try and fall back and save the rifle. What a round that this was. Exist very nearly managed to do it for his team.
So close to bringing it back. And now Get Right, he just put some random shots through. He should just be backing off. Yeah, making a little bit of noise, trying to stow some disinformation out there. And Taco just deciding to play it safe. They're not exactly rolling in cash either, Luminosity. So staying alive with those 2 guns, very solid for them. And they will have money to full buy. Now it's NiP. They're down to 1,900 starting money, Anders. They just don't have a whole lot to go off of here. This is where the pressure is going to start building on the Swedes once again. It's hard to come up with the magic at the drop of a hat.
I mean, right now things are getting a little bit scary. Like we said, they pushed a lot of chips in on that last round, and LG just barely managed to take all of them. So it's going to be down to a bit of an easier round this time for LG. So they do get three frags to start off with, and Exist and Get Right going to be left.
And FNX right now, yeah, oh, wow, he just turns back perfectly to catch Exist, and a follow-up headshot onto Get Right. Triple kill for him. And that's the rifle gone as well. So now there's no free M4 to work with here for NiP, unfortunately for them. It is just gonna have to, they're just gonna have to make do with what they have, and all of them floating around 43, 4,500, so it's gonna be a bit of a touch and go by. This is where it's really frustrating for NiP, and this is where Luminosity, instead of going for like the smoke execute, I'd almost want to see them just go for the straight up YOLO rush onto B, because NiP are so light on nades, the anti-rush nades just aren't going to be there. Get Right has the incendiary, but...
He forgot the armor there, so that was a bit scary. He went back to buy the armor in the round. That could have been, especially if they do rush and he's not going to be there because he has the max 7. He wants to play close. He's going to be there a bit late. I think it's very lucky for Get Right they didn't do what you just said, which is the rush. That would have been beautiful here. They are onto the plateau though, and right now NiP need this round a lot more than LG do.
Absolutely, this is it. Freiburg realizes there's a man in drop. He's lost control of the situation. 3 players here, and he doesn't trade 1 for 1 either. But Get Right's there with the swag, and he takes out Fallen, making it a bit expensive. He knows another man is here. He goes leaping up, and he's not able to quite get the kill. Instead, it will be Luminosity bringing it back to a 3-on-2. Bomb up on the plateau, and kill after kill. Forrest now the last man here, rotating in, and he walks right into cold. Great pre-fire there from the Brazilian, and that is a 7th round on the board now for Luminosity, and they have succeeded, Anders. They've succeeded in quieting down the crowd. You could hear a pin drop in here right now.
And that makes a really big difference. We always talk about the home crowd advantage, but you know, NiP can really feel that silence, even in the booths as well. You can feel the atmosphere. Tactical timeout is what's going on here for the NiP team. This map has shown that both sides can work. It really depends on how good you are. And again, I would say for Luminosity, you know, we've seen them going B and B and B over and over again. Because of these 2 new players they picked up, the CT side might be more difficult to handle if NiP can successfully sort of throw in some good fakes, which they did do on Cash as well, and they worked out quite well. So we'll see. I don't want to count NiP out, definitely not, but can't really hide the fact that Luminosity are playing very well at the moment again.
And we haven't even seen that connector rush out of Luminosity yet. They just keep going plateau, standard B split, their default B split play. We haven't even seen them shake things up yet. They still have plays in the book that they used against Envy and that were very clever. And so NiP, they're just waiting to see, okay, that's why NiP can, you know, it's hard for them to always just commit to the straight up anti-B rush kind of default situation for themselves, because they never know if that rush to connector is going to come out. That's why drop down is so important right now for NiP. This is nasty. And what are you going to do if you're NiP right now as well? You're $3,000 across the board pretty much, so you can't even go into a full buy right now. You have to eco. You have to eat another round of eco and just plan on having the AWP for Alu, the AWP for Forest if he wants it. Go for the double op. Go for something that's going to shake things up here and make it a little bit less predictable for Luminosity. Jesus, get right.
Oh, well.
Cutting it a bit close. You guys will see in a moment. Well, it's up on the screen here in the venue, but you can see the get right's actually gone for the Swag 7. Drops him down to $1,400, so a little bit risky.
Scary. Very scary indeed. 3-7.
He's hiding. He's hiding. They might expect him over a plateau, but he's looking for that headshot right now. Perfect flash, though. There's the opening. And he manages to get out somehow.
He's still on the smoke here. He actually hasn't jumped over the ledge just yet. They're trying to get closer, spraying a little bit through. friberg going down. That smoke is going to fade, and Get Right getting shot in the legs right now. He's still alive and comes out and Fallen ready and waiting. Xist has got the 1 kill in, but he's going to go down. Alu trying to see if he can get a shot through. Drops Fur as well. Forest is going to get the headshot in, picks up the mag. 7 almost making the jump happen. Are they going to go for the counter boost? It seems like they will. Are they even going to expect this? You can see Fallen's on the other side thinking it might be happening. If they had, he would have been ready for it.
He would have been there to take their face off, yes. That bomb is still kind of caught back here behind Big Box. They need to make that jump over to the site. This is one way to do it. FNX, so patient. Gets that flank in at the right time, and there it is. He wraps it up. Very nicely done on FNX's part, but he was the guarantee at this point. Luminosity are just keeping NiP guessing, keeping NiP wondering where that bomb is, where they're going to be pushing onto it, and just buying time until FNX can push in, get that job done. So an 8th round on the board for Luminosity, but this is it. The big round for NiP. Double AWP for them. They're going for it, Anders. Every dollar spent here in this round.
Yeah, and if they can get, I think if they can get 6 or 7 rounds in this first half, it's still pretty decent. I don't think it's too bad, actually. So I wouldn't be in full panic mode just if I was NiP. I think I'd still be trying to keep my cool here. Some grenades raining in, and LG, I mean, again, showing a really strong preference for the B bomb side. And NiP, you can tell already they're stacking immediately. Nearly 4 people here, and just Forest covering the other side of the map.
They just leave him alone. Luminosity, they still have all of the nades, and again, setting up for that default, all the smokes, all the nades, everything sailing out, and until NiP figure out how to stop this, it's gonna keep coming. Alu misses his first shot, his second shot as well, misses the third, he's under pressure, and he goes ahead and at least trades 1 for 1. But Fair, Taco, and Cold still alive here for Luminosity, pressing onto the site now, and Xist under fire, but he still gets 1 kill. friberg will not manage to lay Fair low. It's just Xist. Another round where he drops a triple.
Yeah, he's playing out of his mind right now, and he's gonna have to, it seems, Cold in the back lines. This is a 1v2 that they cannot lose. Xist goes down, that reveals where he is. Forest covering him. How does Cold get out from behind here? He doesn't. Forest gonna shut him down, and NiP barely winning around, but they did win it.
So close and chaotic. It's incredible just how effective this push is from Luminosity, how it just keeps coming down to the wire time and time again. NiP have seen it so many times now, and they're still figuring out just how to handle it. So the full buy coming out, well, the full buy, as much as their money allows with only 1 player surviving. They're still just so light on nades, NiP. And again, Luminosity just straight up into the B halls, getting ready for it, dodging the anti-nades, all of these very valuable nades for NiP, and we're not really seeing too much of an impact for them yet.
I mean, NiP won the round, and yet they have friberg on a 5-7 here. They just do not have the money to have a really good buy-in. That's a big problem. That double up got sort of reduced into a single one here, but Get Right picking the first one up. Fur with a bit of a quick reply. friberg just a pistol, gets 1, gets 2, has a chance to reload. Not going to get it in time, but Taco goes down. Fallen 1 versus 3 in NiP. They need to survive. They need to get people out of this round with all their health. Fallen going to go down, and that will be 8 and 5. NiP still in it. Still in it.
The turnaround, yeah. Still in it, but just barely. This pistol work, though, from friberg.
Yeah, a big
that
round.
Patience, not just spraying, really measuring his shots.
And again, in terms of kills, I mean, friberg is at the bottom of the scoreboard here, but those 2 kills there, huge impact on the round.
It made a huge difference, no doubt. And well, Luminosity, I mean, this is literally rinse and repeat. When are they going to go for the connector play? I think NiP were expecting it this time because they didn't have 4 players solid on the B site. They did actually have Alu waiting over an underpass, looking to see if anybody was going to be peeking around up in T-spawn.
They Molotov the chicken coop in the back lines. We're in the 14th round, and Fer gonna open it up on Alu. Close range, instant shot down with the AWP and NiP. They need to survive. They need to stay alive once again. Fallen and Taco very low, and it's gonna be the end of Taco. Exist goes down though, and it's still a 2 versus 3. Alu with a great shot and almost another one there. That's scary but cold. He catches his face, and Forest, it seems like it's been happening again and again. He's gonna have to try and clutch it.
Dunks the nade, but it goes just a bit too far. Cold going to live through it, and now Forrest is trying to change up this angle. Again, Forrest finds himself in a 1v2. Similar situation, only that this time one of them is waiting up on plateau, but he needs to get rid of Cold first. Cold, that was a flash, not a pistol. Forrest unfazed. Stands, crouches, looks for the shot, finds the first headshot, and he gets the second one as well! Forrest comes through for NiP time and time again. And he'll just have the time for the defeat. No, he won't. He doesn't actually have the kit. Are you kidding?
No, he did.
He did. Yeah, okay.
We switched away, but it's good. He did.
Lost track of the time there for a second.
What? I mean...
That one right there, what is FNX doing peeking?
I mean, the thing is, after so many years of playing this game, the theory, and generally in esports, the theory has always been, you know, once you get a bit older, are you not going to be too slow? Are you not going to be, you know, beat by people who are maybe a little bit younger and faster? In fact, I've had pretty good examples here of how that might not actually be true. What a sickening clutch from Forrest once again, and he's going to fall back. He spots a player out, and this might be the info they need. But Cold will take down Get Right with a really strong start and drops Freiburg as well. And Cold Zero coming into play. That's scary.
Yeah, this is ridiculous now. And he's, well, Fallen's in a corner, looks away, but it still gets the kill onto Exist. Huge frag for him. And now it's going to come down to Alu and Forrest. The last two alive in a 2-on-5. They want nothing to do with this. Well, 15th round, so there's no hiding. They're going to have to get the job done eventually here, but it's going to be so tough. And there's the first shot. Cold, relentless. And finally, Alu will snuff him. He warms it up, but still a 1v4 for him. Well, make it a 1v3, just racking up those kills. A 1v2, nope, misses the shot, but Fallen can't commit, and he's just gonna be able to hunt him down for the last frag of this half. 6-9, the final score at the end of it. Luminosity still coming out in the lead.
I mean, if we go back to some of the teams that exist out there that are very good at playing Cobblestone, a 9-6 finish would be great for them. They wouldn't have any problem with that because they know that Terror side can be very powerful. I don't know if NiP are going to be able to do that to the same extent. I think the pistol round is going to be really critical. This is a very tight game right now. The Luminosity, a semi-final spot right now. That's what they are hoping for.
With half of a new roster, what an incredible run that would be. Beating Envy, that's already just a humongous win. But then taking down NiP as well on home turf in front of a home crowd. Yeah, all of these thoughts are going through their heads, but really, they're trying to eliminate them. They need to focus on getting the job done. There's still a lot of work. This is a fairly even scoreline, so there's still a lot of work here to be done for Luminosity to live that dream, and for NiP to just come through yet again.
Again, some brave people in the crowd there with the LG, you know, go LG, I love it.
I mean, we need to show the guy with the Brazilian flag a little bit more often as well.
And they do have some support here in Jönköping at DreamHack, and well, the second half is coming up in 5 seconds, and it's gonna be the last map here. Last of the day as well. It's NiP versus Luminosity, so make some noise, DreamHack, because it's coming up right about now. It's 4 armors here on NiP, just Freiburg with a bit of a smoke. And on the LG side, they've got a little bit more utility. If they win this pistol round, things are going to get very scary for the Swedes.
Indeed, and this straightforward approach from NiP, one of the two options, rush B, rush A, go for it. NiP, no fear now, and Get Right with the lurk. He's going to turn away, and that's going to cost him. FNX, fair, FNX again, and they're just getting kill after kill. They're getting sandwiched in as well. Forrest, he's stuck, and Freiburg tries to stick that bomb plant, but it's just not meant to be. Complete and utter destruction here in the pistol. What? Despite what Forrest was trying to do, he got 2 headshots, but it just wasn't good enough.
He actually got the last shot through the wood panel as well. I love the fact that they were actually trying to get the bomb down there, because that made sense. Look at this nonsense.
What was that?
Yeah, okay, time for some Reddit videos here. I'm definitely ready. If we can make a lot for Flusher, then this one has to go in there too.
Wow. Oi, Forrest.
I'm so ready for Reddit.
Man, NiP, no fear. Man, and Alu doesn't. Alu not going for the op. Makes the full investment in this round. Tech 9 Kevlar helmet. Not a dollar spared. And a healthy balance here for Luminosity as well. 3 SMGs, 2 rifles. They're ready for whatever comes. If NiP were hard ecoing, they'd make some money with the SMGs, although MP7s aren't too bad versus Kevlar either. This is just going to come down to NiP committing at some point here. They have the nades for a full execute.
Right, and LG is set up behind where the smokes are going to land, so either they push for the smokes immediately, or they wait for the bombs to go down and go for the retake. We'll see what the Brazilians are going to try and do here. NiP getting closer. Oh, flash! Oh my god! What a lineup! And coldzera shutting them down with that MP7. Fallen with a kill as well. That was beautiful. It's going to be Falling picking up a second kill. That is one hell of a flashbang.
Yeah, it's so... I mean, the timing. He goes for it once, doesn't spot anybody, but the timing for the second, and then he doesn't mess it up either. Pops right in. They eat it. NiP force-fed that flash, and Cold, he's living up to his name. That was ruthless. 11-6 now, and this is where it starts to get a little scary for NiP. They lost the pistol, yeah, but then to just get completely annihilated in the second, that's not good enough. Oof.
Grenade and no armor does terrifying damage. Fur in the middle, pick up a couple of more SMG kills here. Gonna be good for his money. Alu, though, look at this. He's just charging into the end zone to just get that touchdown with the bomb. Pretty good job on him.
Guys.
That's very good job. And he actually gets a shot as well, but that's the end of that dream. It's still very, very good. 2 kills on a bomb plant.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic. How the hell did Alu thread that needle? He got on there, and that's the bonus 800. That's going to make the difference, actually, here. Curious to see if he'll have enough for an AWP off of that. He's going to be cutting it real close. Yeah.
Just exactly.
Just has it. So.
Oh, but I see. This is something that. This is more annoyance. I think he could have gone for the AWP and head armor. Instead, he went for the AWP, body armor, and then a flashbang. So now there comes a question. If he gets shot in the face with one of these rifles, then he should afford the head armor. If the flashbang is going to help out his team, then the flash was the right choice. So we'll try and keep an eye on. This is one of those things you really can't know. And at this point, I guess I wouldn't question Alu. He's just a slight bit better than I am at the game.
I have to admire NiP's approach, though. They aren't quite sure what Luminosity's tendencies are. Well, they have an idea of it, but they are spreading out basically in a bit of a catch-all formation default setup, right? They aren't just charging in like, this is the game plan, guys. We're going to be every single round. No, NiP spread out, and they look to find an entry. Freiburg jumps up, spots the first man. Is he actually going to be able to get this kill? Yes, he will. Freiburg holds his own, takes down Taco, and now Fur through the smoke, hoping to get lucky, but it's not meant to be this time.
That was very scary. I thought that the teammates there for Freiburg was going to be much quicker. Well, 50 seconds now, and the opening here going in favor of NiP, and this is their chance to do it as well. Exist is going to be going down, but they do need to shut down Luminosity very early on in this half.
And here we go. They commit. Freiburg with the man hard on his heels. That's Alu with the AWP. Not ideal. Alu really needs to follow this up because Fur right now is just wrecking them. He's doing so much damage. Alu's still at his back, and he's going to go and snuff him, but then it's still a man advantage for Luminosity here in the hold, and there's still a man alive on the site. Cold, he's the last line, but Fallen's there to help, and it's going to be down to Get right now. 1v3, and will not manage it in the end. 13 rounds here, and Anders, this is really starting to get a bit out of control for NiP. Luminosity are far too close for comfort. 13 rounds on the board, solid economy to work with. And NiP forced into a pistol eco, a quasi-buy.
Yeah, they try and even out the economy there to make sure they can still buy in the upcoming round, but give themselves a chance in this one. It's sort of, you know, going half and half. They could have gone all in as well. Not sure that would have given them too much more, so I kind of like this idea here. But you're absolutely right. The Brazilian team, 3 rounds away from making the semifinals. It's been an incredible tournament for them so far. Shot comes out there from Fallen, but misses, or at least it does only half damage there to Get right.
Now they know. Yeah, he gets the tag through the box. FNX holding close, though. And Get right just goes charging in, doesn't hit the headshot up close with that Tech 9. That's what needed to happen. Forrest instead is going to step in and get the job done. 4 on 4.
What?
Fallen still alive back here. Somehow Forrest down to 10 HP.
No way did Fallen hit that shot. We need a replay of that one. Forrest is going to be getting old Zero down, and Fallen goes down as well. Exists with the kill. Now it's down to Fur, very low on health as well. And Taco coming up from behind. He's very nearly dead, but the Molotov here might just force Exist out. He's trapped in the back lines. He can't get out. He's on fire. It goes down. Oh my God, down to 13 health. And look at that. The Brazilians, you know, jeering the home crowd. They know what they're doing. They're so close here. Another 2 rounds. What a team. I mean,
Somebody had better cap that moment right there
Please don't
and
tell me
send it
this
to
is
cold.
true. Oh, God. That really happened.
Yeah, somebody had better cap that moment and send it to cold, because that is such a sick moment there. That pose. And it's true, NiP, they might as well have a gun to their heads. 14-6. Luminosity, they're on the brink. NiP, though, feels like we've been here today, Anders. Feels like we've seen this before.
You were right. It's been close to elimination one more time, but this kind of comeback here is on a different order. It feels like Luminosity have shown a lot of quality here on the CT side. NiP, they really need to step it up. Smoke's gonna go all the way over the castle wall there. Taco pushing in, M4 in hand, and he gets flashed and goes down. Friberg with a good opening. Forrest gonna fall next, and Fur, well, he's gonna run back in, see if he can get the shot. He's getting a second one. That was Exist going down, and Fur still alive and doing well, and this is very bad news. Triple kill for Fur. What an absolute monster, and Friberg is gonna be alone. 3 health left in a 1 versus 4. Fur, he's hungry and coming for more. He's gonna get shot in the face, though. I'm not sure it's enough, though. For Friberg, in a 1 versus 3.
With 3 HP as well. If we don't get Half-Life 3 by the end of the year, Anders, I'm going to be really frustrated at this point. So many signs. A bullet there for Cold to end it, and it's now match point, and NiP, they don't have the money for a full buy. They're going to have to cobble something together here. And this is it. We could be witnessing the end of their run in this tournament, and Luminosity moving on to the semi-finals to face off against TSM.
Yeah, right now, NiP's dream is 9 rounds in a row to make it into even more overtime. That would be truly grotesque. Fur is going to be hiding in the corner. Forrest on the opposite side. When that smoke clears, Fur is going to be in a very bad spot. I mean, don't see him making it out. If he can take one with him, even that would be a little bit too much to ask here. Smoke is going to fade in just a couple of seconds here. Fur pushing out of the head. He's actually going to go for the spray, but Alu will be shutting him down. That's a very good start here. Fur might have got some information, but because there's so much time left, all NiP have to wait is a good 15 seconds. That information will be completely useless.
Exactly. They could be anywhere on the map now. And NiP, they don't spring the trap. They could have had the opening to go in there. They have to rotate Cold in a little bit late in the round for Luminosity. But NiP, they decide to slow play it. They want to hold on to this advantage. They have the nades to go for an execute on the B site right now.
I just want to point out, if they end up going A, then Cold is in a position where clutches are made. This is exactly where you want to be. So just to keep that in mind, it does look like it's going to be B push here. And Fallen, if you can catch the opening kill, that might set it up. Again, 1 round, and Luminosity are in the semis.
And there's the shot. Taco overwhelmed, but it's a fair trade. FNX comes right back into it. Still the man advantage here for NiP. And Fallen, if ever there was a time for you to come alive, it is now. He picks up the first kill, gets the second. This is what this man does! A third one! And it's gonna be on Get Right! What can he do in a 1v2? Bomb out in the open with 20 seconds. He can go ahead and take out Fallen. That's a good start. And now it's gonna be down to Cold, the monster. And he's on the edge, and it is gonna be it! Cold comes through, and Luminosity are going into the semifinals. All the fans' hopes and dreams lie in ruin, and NiP will not be doing it again. Their story ends here.
What an incredible tournament run here for Luminosity. 2 new members picked up so many doubts, and they have proven themselves not once but twice, beating Envy, beating NiP on land in Europe as well. This is not nothing, ladies and gentlemen. What a team. I mean, this is how you become sort of a legendary team, isn't it? To travel halfway across the world and beat some of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, what a crazy story. North America wishes they had a team capable of this. Because, I mean, to come out of nowhere, I mean, Fallen, to really stick with it for so long, to grind games, to move away from your home to North America, to improve your game, and then to come in here and just start doing serious damage to the European scene. You took out the major champions, and now you've removed NiP on home soil. An amazing story here with Luminosity.
It's not going to be an easy run tomorrow either, because they'll be facing TSM, and you saw the power that they had in the group stage. This could be an explosive game. Other semifinals, of course, being Fnatic and Virtus Pro, and it's all going to be fireworks tomorrow. Wow.
I cannot wait.
I mean, this is just a very, very, very cool game. All 3 maps as well, overtime and everything, and I don't know about you, Sam, but I'm starting to develop a bit of a crush on Luminosity. I mean, we kind of love them a little bit already just because of the status they had, the commitment to move to NA to actually practice. Can't believe it. Yeah. We're going to have Paolo on stage with some very excited Luminosity members.
Sorry, guys, I don't mean to interrupt you, but as you can see, we're now live on stage. Guys, how are you feeling? You must be over the moon right now.
Yeah, we feel really awesome. We're so happy about this conquest. It's been pretty hard to beat an NiP since we started playing CSGO. I think it's the first time a Brazilian team beats them. And I'm sorry to disappoint all the crowd here in Sweden, but I think it was a good game. I hope you guys enjoy it.
What's it like playing against a crowd like these guys?
Well, because we're in the booth, we can't hear so much, but I remember first saying like, okay guys, check everybody here is cheering for NiP and NiP, and then I take a look and oh, Jesus guys, what's happening? But that's pretty cool, we love it.
Yeah. Now, someone who had an amazing performance is Cole. His English, well, he's not super confident with his English, so I'll get him to reply in Portuguese and then Fawn will translate. So, you had a great performance. Give me a little rundown of the series for you.
Você teve uma grande performance. O que você achou do jogo?
Eu achei o jogo muito difícil. É um time excelente, é um time muito difícil de se bater. E a gente está com uma line nova, só que a gente veio com uma cabeça para querer ganhar dos caras e ser o melhor time do mundo.
He says he thought the game was pretty difficult, and it's always difficult to beat NiP, and there's awesome players. But we came with a mindset that we can beat any team in the world. And that's why we changed our lineup, because we feel now we are on a high level and maybe we can start doing more damage.
Now, other than Colt, who is still relatively new, FNX and Taco, they came through today. That must be like just an amazing thing for them to do. But did you expect that coming into the tournament, that they would eventually just, you know, take hold?
We have been losing recently for so many close rounds. Like we lost for Navi 2 best of 3s. And all the maps were like 3 rounds difference, 2 rounds difference. And we knew that something really small were missing. And that's why we decided to change our lineups, because we were simply not evolving. You know, we were not evolving, and that's why we needed to change. But being honest, as we didn't have any time to practice, all the practice we did was like 2 hours or 1 hour, or maybe even after the breaks. And I think I'm doing a great job with Zeus. Our coach is helping really much. Always remember me what tactics we could do, and this is our fruit, how can I say, this is just result of our job.
Now just a couple more things, that is, Envious and NiP, 2 best of 3s in 1 day. Again, like, could you expect that coming into the tournament, that you would take out the world #1 team, and again, one of the best teams in the world, NiP as well?
Well, the first day I expected, then I faced Fnatic, and then I didn't expect anymore. Like, we got stronger by 16-0. So it was like a shake for us, and I just told the guys, hello guys, we are not that good. Don't think we can win only based on skill-wise, because we need more organization, and we need more tactics, and that's what we work for. I didn't expect to beat both teams on that matter, but I feel this team has a good quality, and sooner or later we're gonna get there.
Final thing I will direct to Cold. Tomorrow you guys are facing off against TSM, who earlier in the competition, it didn't go so well against them. So, Cold, TSM tomorrow, do you have any thoughts for that matchup?
Tem algum pensamento para jogar amanhã contra o TSM?
Vai ser um jogo muito difícil, mas a gente está preparado para jogar contra eles e estrategicamente a gente está super bem.
He said it's going to be a really difficult game, but we're going to try to be prepared for them and do our best.
All right, well, guys, best of luck. Congratulations to you. Commiserations to NiP. What a wonderful crowd as well to show these guys love as well when they've just beaten the home team. So, thank you to these guys as well. We're going to head over to the desk, and I think they're going to close out the night.
Thanks a lot for that, Paul. And now, Duncan, I was going to do one of your bits of wordplay here. I was going to say that NiP have fallen, and they've left the crowd cold.
Yeah.
The new Luminosity lineup has risen like a phoenix.
Phoenix?
FNX.
Oh, FNX, okay.
With me? A phoenix.
Keep going.
All right.
Phoenix.
As there's been a hostile takeover in Sweden. But you have to say it was a fair result.
Okay.
It's getting late.
Okay.
It's not late in the night.
I tried. Mate, you've done far worse. Anyway,
right.
On the point of a fair result, Luminosity, okay. I thought when it went to overtime on that second map, I feared that they were just going to be mentally broken. And it was going to be the same
you have to worry
story.
about that.
So they've not just shown individual skill and talent with this new lineup, they've shown mental resilience and fortitude, and they've done what the old lineup can never do. They've closed out 2 best of 3s, and now we're best of 3 under really, mental pressure. So it's incredible. It's an incredible story.
First and foremost, bearing in mind when they got 16-0'd, we went with like the easy narrative. Like, this is why you don't change lineups.
Yeah, I know.
Event. What are you thinking doing 2 players? Your whole team was based on strategy. You're not going to win matches against Envious and NiP, just trying to frag them. Okay, we were wrong. Got to hold your hands up. Yeah. Pretty good result, actually. Yeah. Basically the best you could imagine beyond the first day. And obviously they did actually accomplish things already with this new lineup that no one saw from them before. I do have to say, there's probably a factor also that once this lineup clicked, well, now there's nothing for the opponent to go on. They don't know how you're going to play with these new players. They don't know. No one even knew they were good on Cash. Like, this is not a map they win on, and they could have won Cash Day against NiP. So I actually think also, as much as everyone's going to get hyped about them now because they've done so well, in future tournaments, I think there'll be like a level off period as they start to get good again. They won't just be like going up and up and up and become number 1 in the world, but obviously an incredible performance.
So what did you guys make of it?
I also feel, in addition to what you just said, they also have no pressure on them right now. They're also aware that they...
Not after 16-0.
Yeah, they changed 2 players. No one expects anything for them, so they can just go ham. I'm impressed by basically every aspect of this team. Their individual performance, their composure, mental composure they've shown, the tactical aspect of the game. I'm most impressed with, since, as we mentioned many a time, they didn't have basically any time to prepare for this.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part for me as well. The fact that Fallen is able, and probably with his coach as well, behind the team, that they're able to have the mental fortitude and presence of mind to be able to swap things around on the fly. Because you see in-game leaders in the top teams today not being able to adapt properly when they hit a roadblock. And whatever was thrown at Luminosity, they were able to handle it in an excellent manner. So that was definitely the most impressive thing for me.
And that whole storyline where everyone always says, oh, you can't expect the in-game leader to frag, he's thinking about the game. Fallen gets so many opening kills with the orb, it's unreal. Considering he's not like a Guardian type guy who's going to hit every crazy shot, he just knows how to set his shot up. Like, even when he's going to peek someone, he knows that's because the guy's exactly there, and that's when I'm going to step out onto them. So he was very impressive.
He
just
really
as the
is,
leader.
though, like a unique AWPer stylistically. There's so many times we watched him play this tournament where he takes these really aggressive forward positions on the CT side especially, and you're like, okay, well, if he gets caught here and he misses his first shot, he's dead. And obviously when he does miss, that happens. But the classic one was on Inferno against Envious. We had Maniac watching, and he went, that's a 1-kill position, he shouldn't play there. Well, he drops the first guy, the second guy gets the third guy while he's in midair. So he's having an amazing tournament and definitely deserves plaudits for the way he's playing.
And obviously, Cold Zero, he was the best player in the entire server, and that's with Get Right having like all these heroic 1v2s, 1v1s. I mean, I have to say, if Get Right hadn't showed up on that Cash game, it would have just been a 2-0.
That would have been a 2-0, yeah.
That would have been the case. He really saved NiP's asses there. That was actually, I think overall, Luminosity outplayed NiP on all 3 maps. Definitely. Just that the middle one was closer, but to win like that on Cobblestone especially, you just don't expect that from them.
Now Janko, can I just do something? Right. No. I just want to show the people at home. So Janko's going to break down this series for you all. Can we get this? Look, this is like that scene from The Shining, right? Reference game on point. Look how much he's written about this. So anyway,
there's the 4th cue card.
Yeah, there's another one behind him. He went, oh yeah, Tony, that was just a prologue.
Cobble, I thought I would have gone for Cobble, but it was pretty straightforward.
Earlier on this morning when you were polishing that apple, was that for Richard? I'm alive, this nerd.
Anyway, come on, take us through it. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we're starting from Mirage, an amazing round by Forest, winning a 1v4 pistol round for NiP. I thought that at that point, Forest is going to go ham. This is going to be a real close game. Luminosity are going to be crushed the way they lost this round. Second round, Taco, 4 kills. They instantly bring it back, break the economy of NiP. And after that, you could see how that's what I was really impressed about on their city side, how they were constantly adjusting, pushing. And we have a replay right now I see on the previous screen. So this is the first gun round that NiP actually had money, and they went for mid control, and you can see that there's no Luminosity players around. They decided to give it up, but they didn't push anywhere else. They have no info left. So now you'll see Fallen is at the firebox with the op. The guy in the stairs is going to get the initial kill. You can see that NiP has 1 guy in apps, 1 guy in slope, but they're just going to push together on a certain timing. Here it is, the first kill. It gets traded by the guy from apps. Fallen gets a kill, and this is really important. Gets Phoenix, who is close. Fallen gets traded, and now it's just a 2v1, and NiP wins this round. So this is a great example of, how you can win around the ST after you get mid control, but also a bad example of CT play. The good thing for Luminosity after this was that they instantly adjusted. They had Fur push underground, get the initial kill, and from that point on, they reset NiP's money yet again. NiP goes for an equal. Now LG knows they have to buy, but they're not going to have enough money for an op. So then you have Fallen push through the connector area, gets an entry, they have a man advantage, and that kept repeating itself throughout the half. You know, you would have Fur, who had 20 kills in the first half, you would have him push AAPS, get an entry there. They were just, you know, NiP had no solution for what LG was throwing at, and they got one round where Cold missed an op shot on B. Freiburg had a good round there. He managed to punish him for it and get another extra kills after that. But Mirage was just LG show all the way. Really impressive.
Anything to add before we get on to page 2?
No, just it was more or less a mirror of what we saw Luminosity do versus Envy. The three variations they had with their mid-control push, whether they gave up mid-control, had Fur pushing underpass, or having Fur go aggressively in AAPS. That's kind of the three variations they had of how they would play out the rounds, and worked brilliantly versus both teams.
One more thing, just real quick. So Forrest got a crazy 1v4, gets 4 kills, doesn't get a single kill 11 rounds after that, ends up with, I think, 5 kills in a half. So that was also, you know, I was talking about him like he was going to be a very key player, and he didn't show up in that half for anything.
Anyone who's blind, if you couldn't see the game, you've just had the entire thing started there by a new service we're offering here, DreamHack. No, but what I wanted to say is...
It's a new service we like to offer.
What I wanted to say as a general point, though, is this is why yesterday, okay, when Ala was like, why didn't you predict we were going to win? It's because Mirage isn't that stable a map for NiP. It's not something you can say that it's a go-to map. So, I mean, you thought, yes, they were fantastic yesterday on it, but today, not so much. They were shaky. Meanwhile, Luminosity were obviously very, very good on it. So, I feel like that's something for NiP. Obviously, they're not going to be on in this tournament, but that's something we have to look at here. They still don't really have, like, a home map beyond Dust 2.
So, where are we in the story now, Janka?
We can move on to Cash Rich.
Can we do that? Okay,
yes.
Let's move on to Cash then. So tell us what you observed.
LG starts ST, another close pistol round. They get into the site. I think they were actually in a 5v3 at one point, get the bomb planted. Then NiP Magic starts coming in. You know, they go for that crazy retake. They get the kills. Cold ends up in a 1v2. Kills both players in like 5 bullets in 2 seconds, you know. So the first clutch they win, and then we have a replay of the third round where NiP was actually on an eco that ended up in another 1v2 by FNX. So he see Freiburg hiding in the smoke. Getrek has one flash. That's all they invested basically. One flash catches LG completely off guard, as we'll see now. Freiburg gets the 2 kills thanks to that flash. He picks up the gun, gets another kill. Great for him. FNX ends up in a 1v3, gets a free kill here. And now here he knows one guy is Car, he tries to challenge him, sees the other guy moving door, and now he makes a great call to go for that duel that Maniac was talking about. When you're in a clutch situation, you want to go for those 2 1v1s. He goes and he reads Getright perfectly. He's just waiting for him to go Ventral, and you know, to outmine Getright, possibly the greatest clutch player in CSGO, like that, it certainly sends a statement early on. And from that point, LG won 8 rounds in a row. They were mixing things up. Everything was going well for them. After that, they lose 6 rounds, and NiP pulls it back to 8-6. I think that even they lost 6 rounds in a row, their game plan was still really good. It's just that NiP stepped up their individual performance.
I'll interrupt story time with Janko here, and I'll bring Duncan in. This is where you really felt the impact of Get Right, because this was a game that, even with that comeback, that sort of mini comeback in that half there, you feel Luminosity is still going to be very comfortable moving forward at half-time. Now, we talked about FNX making some great clutches. Get Right really dragged NiP out of the hole on this map.
Absolutely. I mean, Cold Zero was going crazy in regulation, and then Fallen was getting all these early picks in rounds, and it seemed like... Here's the interesting thing. I've got to give credit. Like, first of all, in terms of just like the actual plays, the kills that got you the round wins. Yeah, Get Right had like 1v2s, 1v1s. One of the best ones was where the time was running down, and he made, I think it was Fallen, come in with the AWP, thinking like he's going to have to be planting now, and he just mind gamed him. He was actually going behind him, where it's going to be so hard to ever be able to do that if you're the CT, because you have to essentially know when he's going to go around just intuitively, and that's obviously a specialty of Get Right. I'm also going to give props on Cash to the T-side calling of Exist, actually. Obviously, I can't know what specific calls he made, but if you notice, when Luminosity was up big and they were holding that A site so well, what Exist did was NiP would go super slow, wait for the guy to sort of like gamble over towards the A site, and then they somehow just kept getting into the B site, almost with no like resistance at that point in time. And you saw, actually, we didn't know this going into it, but Luminosity were very hesitant to even retake. Like, if they lost one man, they would just save. And so we got in this weird situation where I feel like Luminosity towards the end of Cash was just waiting, thinking like, sooner or later we're just going to kill them all when they come in the site. They've gone right, whatever, we'll save a gun, go to the next round, it'll happen, and it never hit, obviously. I mean, part of it is like miracle 1v1 wins, but that's the thing, when you're playing versus a championship level team like NiP have been in the past, you can't just wait for them to gift you the win, you have to kind of take the win.
Shall we jump ahead to the overtime?
I just have a quick,
okay.
Can I?
I do have a producer. We have a runtime.
Yeah, so, like Duncan pointed out, NiP started winning consecutive rounds on their T side. So how LG adjusted, they went for the double op setup. And they won the following 2 rounds, and the 2 oppers, called Zira and Fallen, actually got 9 out of 10 kills in those 2 rounds. And the round after that, well, they were up 15-12, I believe. They read NiP perfectly. They read that NiP is going to go back to that, B attack that you just mentioned. They put 3 guys on B, but they didn't win the round. It was the get right 1v1 clutch that he had against Fall, and after that it goes to overtime. So I'm going to let Wen speak a little bit
about
overtime.
The OT, usually when you see situations like this in Counter-Strike, where the team that had the match points threw them away, they usually lose the overtime, right? And then they just get crushed on the third map because they're just mentally destroyed. How many times have we seen that?
It started out that way as well.
Yeah.
Because NiP got 3 quick rounds, and Luminosity was at the point where they're actually going to start running out of money because they started off the overtime with going with 2 ops because that had been working for them, as you mentioned. So when they got no results for that, the first 3 rounds, I was really just expecting. I was like halfway typing out. It's just, nice try. On to match 3 we go. But again, this is where the mental fortitude of Luminosity kicked in again, and we saw some absolutely amazing play from Taco. And Taco had been really lackluster throughout the entire time of the regular playing time. I think he was struggling down. It was somewhere around 10 frags or something. 10 frags. Yeah, at 15-15. But in the overtime, he was kind of the knight in shining armor for Luminosity, who brought it back with several. I think he had a 4K.
Yeah, 4K, 3K. He got at least 10 kills in overtime.
Yeah, he was just balling out. So that brought it back for them. Eventually, it wouldn't really hold up in the end, and I was just really surprised that they hadn't been broken because that's what you normally see.
Yeah. And, they pushed it a distance, obviously did lose the map in the end, but gave NiP something to think about. And, I think about recent results on Cobble. Luminosity won't have felt like, hey, this is going to go our way. They've lost some games on Cobble recently. They're competitive on it. Sure, they can play it, but to have that level of confidence to come out of the traps like they did and start like they did, this is what was different. The old Luminosity folds in.
Yeah.
This is where they go home, mentally.
Yeah, and you could tell how confident they were in themselves with how they started off the game. I think the first 9 rounds of Cobble, they went... No, it's actually more. It was like the first 11 rounds of Cobble, they went B.
They went B every round.
They did the same execute every single time.
They didn't care.
But that's the great part, because you go back to the classic quote, never change a winning team, right? And it was working constantly for them, so there was no real reason for them to go away from it at all. And eventually, when they did switch it up and go towards the A bomb site, NiP have already been so invested in that B bomb site because they've been struggling to keep it clear that, it just opens up the map. It's like Maniac, has said several times over the day, just assert dominance towards one bomb site, and you constantly have the CT side on edge.
So we'll get back to you, Janko. Where are we?
So again,
as the king of the north returned.
I don't have much written for Cobble, only from memory. So NiP wins CT pistol, then first shows up, second round, full buy, gets 3 frags, And this is like where I'm impressed with LG's composure that NiP didn't show on that last map. On Cash, when LG won second pistol, they lose the second round, and they went for a double eco. Didn't buy, just bought a couple of pistols, didn't buy any armor because they knew they need the resources, that they have enough rounds to work with. NiP forced, they lose the round, then they don't have much resources, but there's been a lot of clutch rounds. We've seen Forest win some clutch rounds, then Taco on the other hand, Fallen showing up. So Cobble has really been, back and forth action for most of the time. 9-6 for Luminosity, and then going into the second half, it's been pretty straightforward after they won the pistol.
I kind of agree with you, actually. The big concern for me was, after the second map, to lose, even to have your little comeback in overtime and still lose, I kind of felt like, oh, this is really worrying, because they're going to think, like, we had the chance to just get them there, and then if they get the bad start on Cobble, it'll just be over. And we've seen it happen a lot of times. In fact, famously, happened at the Major, where G2 had that amazing performance against Envious, and then it was just crashing on the third map. But actually, what happened was, okay, think of the whole tone of the series. The only time NiP was winning rounds were these NiP Magic rounds. They were like incredible, like stuff like that, where Freiburg just goes through a smoke, kills a bunch of people, Get Right wins a 1v2. It wasn't actually like standard plays that were winning rounds for NiP. So it's like the guys from Luminosity just held their nerve, kept doing the good thing. Things were still working for them all the maps, all map long. And eventually they got a patch where NiP didn't get the magic, and it just ended for them. So in many ways, we saw NiP with the NiP magic, the patented NiP magic. So I'm going to call Luminosity the James Randi of CSGO, because they don't believe in magic. They proved magic doesn't work. It's all a trick, guys.
I thought you were going to go down the route of saying shamanism. You know, it's more it's more potent, drinking ayahuasca, whatever it was. Too edgy, of course. Right?
Anyway, if anyone doesn't know who James Randi is,
Google him.
Google it.
Yeah.
Google him. He's a legend. Anyway, I think it would be remiss of me not to mention the guy who I thought was the man of the series. I know we all are pretty sure we're in agreement on it, like coldzera. The question is, do we now think of this guy as like one of the world's best, an elite level performer? You know, he had his breakout major, and everyone's like, okay, this guy is good. He's followed up here. He's an absolute monster, this kid.
I think it's fair. I think it's absolutely fair.
When you look at the number of performances, number of different LAN, that's the thing. If you do it at one LAN, you have a lot of matches, great. We have to see it at another. It's now been like, 4 or 5 LANs. He's done it in different continents, against different levels of opponent now even. So did it against Fnatic, Envious, NiP. Obviously, we've got all the teams at the CEVO, some of the NA teams. So I think overall, it's probably legit. At the moment, I'd say he's approaching a top 10 status.
Yeah, definitely. He can play with the op, he can clutch, amazing rifler, good pistol player, and he's consistently, as you mentioned, over a couple of tournaments, he's been doing it, and it's not, his frags are, especially in this series, there's been most of his frags are really high impact frags, not just, anti-eco frags or whatever. It's like the important frags that win you the round. He's been consistently getting it for his team.
Anyone who wants to see the difference in terms of the context of stats, okay, don't go and watch that series where Envious played against Luminosity, and Happy gets 70 kills, he has a plus 21 scoreline. Now look at the impact of his frags, and then watch the coldzera frags from this series, and you'll see, even if the numbers are the same, it's night and day in terms of which one's winning the game for the team and which one's just padding the stats.
I think we suspected the Happy burn was coming.
Yeah,
It's
always
guys. It's always
predictable.
Always.
I mean, I'd do a NiP burn, but there's no one in the audience anymore. They've all gone home to try and get some water on that salt to like even things out,
Right, anyway, let's take a look at the bracket. NiP fans may want to look away now, but there is confirmation that Luminosity have done the unthinkable and eliminated NiP and Envious after starting out a tournament with a 16-0. Sets up the semi-finals of Fnatic versus VirtusPro, one of the best matchups in Counter-Strike right now, and it's a new look Fnatic as well, who like to play aggressive. That'll be a classic. And then an intriguing one, TSM versus Luminosity. I'm sure Luminosity had no hope or aspirations of even making the semi-finals. They're coming up against the TSM now. I don't think TSM were expecting to play Luminosity. I think they were banking on playing NiP based on talking to them backstage.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, because they were saying at first, well, Envy are going to make it through, they're going to beat Luminosity, they're going to beat NiP, and we're going to get knocked out by Envy. And when Envy went out, they were like, well, NiP are going to beat Luminosity, we're going to play NiP, we're going to lose to NiP.
Yeah.
Now, it's, I don't think they're that much happier playing Luminosity at this point, because it's like you mentioned, they're a complete unknown factor. You have nothing to base their play off of. You don't really know what they're going to do, who's going to do what for them, barring the 3 people who've been there before. And you know they're going to be a nuisance anyway. So what FNX and Taco actually bring to that team is going to be completely unknown for TSM, and that has to be scary.
Well, here's the funny thing. They were complaining to me in the green room, like, it doesn't matter who we get, Envious, NiP. Envious just play off their skill. NiP plays the YOLO style. How are we supposed to anti-strat these guys?
It's green room talk.
Listen, how are we supposed to
stay in the green room.
The whole point is they were saying, how are we supposed to anti-strat these guys? You can't. Well, how do you anti-strat a team where there's no demos exist and you've only seen them play like 1 map each? You can't do it. Still, TSM are a superior team. They have a fantastic map pool. So that's the difference between NiP and Envious there. TSM have the map pool. So I think TSM can still be considered the favorite, obviously.
Yeah. All right, well, look, gentlemen, it's been a great day, a long day, an epic day. I'm going to shut the book now, Yanko. All right, bump. There we go. He's got it. Prop humor. He's in the game. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow. And, of course, we have to thank our sponsors as well, which is Intel, HyperX, Razer, Monster Energy, ISO, Alienware, Alpha Draft, and Unicorn. And, of course, our official coverage partner, theScore. You can go to theScore, eSports.com, download their app to keep up with scores and everything else while you're on the move. And coming up after this, there is going to be a walkthrough video of the app to watch. We'll be back tomorrow at 1:30 in the studio. We're looking forward to seeing you join us. It's going to be epic as we get into the semi-finals here. See you tomorrow.
Get fucked.